Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. In today's video, we are going to learn that how companies are preparing their chart of accounts, how they are listing accounts in chart of account, and what are the classifications of accounts when the companies are preparing chart of account. I will share with you the types or the classification of balance sheet and income statement items or the accounts, and furthermore we will see that how we can prepare chart of accounts in Microsoft Excel. So the thing which I'm gonna share with you, it will be according to the accounting softwares also. All the accounting softwares are using the chart of account is according to this example which I'm gonna share with you. It will be the same as compared to the other chart of accounts in accounting systems. So let's start with the beginning and see first of all the classifications of accounts, because these are very important when we need to create our chart of account. So let's move to our Excel sheet. Here we have balance sheet, and here we have classified the accounts. Current assets in balance sheet, this is the main account. Under the current assets we'll be having cash and bank, debtors, inventory, prepayments, and other accounts which are related to current assets will be our sub account. So we need to know that how many accounts do we need to create under our current assets main account. Next is the fixed asset. This is also our main account. Under the fixed asset, furniture, plant and machinery, vehicle, printers, plotters, land, building, these are all the sub accounts of this fixed assets account. Next, liabilities. Liabilities are the main account. Under the liabilities there are current liabilities and long-term liabilities. Current liabilities and long-term liabilities are the sub account of liabilities, but under the current liabilities there will be more sub account for like accounts payable, notes payable, and other current liabilities. So under the long-term liabilities there will be more sub account for this account also. So this account will be gonna main account for the sub account of long-term liabilities and current liabilities. Here is our equity account, which is main account. Under the equity account we will be having capital or the shareholders and the retained earnings. These are the sub accounts of equity. Now let's move to the income statement. Income statement will be having revenue or the sales. This will be the main account, and the sub account will be the categories of sales. If we are selling goods in different types of sales, like we are selling products and we are selling also services. So services, other income, sales of products, so these will all be sub accounts. Expenses will be main account, and after that cost of goods sold account will be the sub account of expenses, but the main account of all direct expenses. So purchases, direct expenses, other direct expenses, carriage, freight, so these will be all sub accounts. Operating expenses is a main account but the sub account of expenses. So under the operating accounts, the admin expense, selling expense, financial expense will be the sub accounts. These admin expenses also the main accounts when we are going to categorize under admin expense, like the daily use entertainment expense, all other expense which are coming administration expense will be the sub account of admin expenses. Selling expense will be the main account for the subcategories of these selling expense, like sales incentives. Also the financial expense like interest and other bank charges, these expenses comes under the financial expenses. So this will be the main account for those sub accounts. So this is the main account for these sub accounts, and this is the sub account of this main account expense. Next is the taxes. Taxes are the main account for the sub account of sales tax and value added tax and other tax, GST, and this Taxes also comes under the main head account of expenses. So these are the classifications of expenses we should know when we need to create a chart of account. Let's move ahead to the chart of account I have prepared for you. This is the chart of account. We have here heading. We can have here a company name, upper row of this row. Here we have accounts, titles and codes. These codes are playing a vital role when we are making the classifications of chart of accounts. And here the type, the nature of the account, and here where these accounts are belongs with which statement, and what are the effect, either it will debit or credit. So one by one we will see now. As you can see here, accounts, titles and codes. Here we have account code 1000, current assets. So this is the main account starting with 1000 code. As you can see here, under here we have a sub account of current assets, cash and banks. So cash and bank having 1010, this is the sub account of current asset. And under the cash and bank there is a sub accounts like this bank, cash and saving account and investment account starting with 1010.1, 1010.2. Why do we need to be in the serial wise? Because whenever we are needed any report related to current assets, if we need only the summary of current assets, we will go to this account to get the summary. If we need more details, we will go to this account. We need to see only the cash and bank, so we need to print that report, so we will go to this account. We will print the summary of this account. If we need more details of these accounts, so we will print with the detailed account of these. So printing this account report will consist the balances of all these sub accounts. Next, account receivable will be having a code of 1200. This is the main account and this is comes under assets, and this is affecting in balance sheet and it is always debit. So here 1200 code account receivable. Under here account receivable, our clients are showing here all the ledgers of our clients. So 1201, 1202, 1203. So as long as the list is going on, the numbers will increase. So our client list will come here. Whenever we need a report, we need to just go to account receivable and it will give us all the details of all the clients in a summarized way. Next, inventory starting with 1300, and here we will be having a list of sub accounts of inventories. These are assets, comes in balance sheet and debit. Other current assets, prepaid deposits will be, this is the main head account, the code, and these are the sub accounts. 1400 will be the main account and 1401, 10, so on will be the sub accounts. Now here we have fixed assets, 1600 code, and here the sub accounts will be 1601, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and so on. So here we will be having a accumulated depreciation also, which also comes under the assets and showing in the balance sheet but in credit. Next is the current liabilities starting with the code of 2000 and so on. These are the sub accounts. This is the value added tax, VAT input control account. This is also a main account of VAT input and VAT output. As you can see here, under the sub accounts there is also existing a main account. So this is a sub account of current liabilities but the main account of VAT input and VAT output. Here it is starting with 2030 and this account is controlling these two accounts. So these accounts are starting with the numbers code 2030.1, 2030.2. So this account is controlling these two accounts. So VAT input is asset type and balance sheet is also always debit, and VAT output is a liability in the balance sheet and always credit. This account is the control account of these two accounts. Now other current liabilities, 2100 code, and here are the sub accounts of these all liabilities. If there will be more accounts under the notes payable or the accrued liabilities or the current portion LTD, so there will be more sub accounts of this account or either any of other accounts. Here we have long-term liabilities, 2500 is the code. Here we have a sub account of this liability which is 2510. After that, retained earnings starting with 3900 code, and it is a liability and balance sheet and always credit balance. Whenever the company is having losses, then it goes to the negative balance, otherwise it will be a credit balance. 3999 is opening balance of equity in the balance sheet and it is always credit. This is the capital account of owners. Now here we have cost of goods sold starting with 5500 and it having our direct expenses here, which is 5500 purchases, 5510 direct expense. If we need to know the cost of goods sold expenses, we just need to go to this account and print the report along with the all summary of these existing the sub accounts. These are direct expenses, the type is direct expenses, reflecting in income statement and profit and loss account and always debit. Here we have depreciation expense, 6999 is the code, and expense, the type is expense, reflecting in income statement and always debit. Salaries and benefits, this is the main account, but the sub account of expenses, operating expenses. So here you can see here the sub account of these salaries and benefits, and these are all expenses reflecting in income statement and profit and loss, all debit. Here operating expenses, the operations 6200. We need to know that what are our operational expenses. So all expenses are categorized here. Operational expenses reflecting in income statement and always debit. Here we have program expenses having a code, and these codes are related to this code, and these are also expenses reflecting in income statement and always debit. Here we have income or sales, which is having a code of 4000, okay, and the sub account having a different account codes but related to this 4000, 4001, 4100, 4110. So these are income accounts or the sales account reflecting in income statement and always credit. So guys, this is the chart of account format. Every company, even they are using an accounting software or an Excel format, this is the exact format for the chart of account. There is no any other way, because these are the fundamentals and the root of the accounting systems. So this is what I have for you today, guys. I hope you like this video and understand the concept of chart of account. Please subscribe my channel as it keep motivated me to create more videos for you. Thank you very much and goodbye.